Welcome into Honorado and Bagnardi. He's Sean Bagnardi. I'm Chris Honorado. We're live on the 104.5 The Team ESPN Radio Facebook page every Wednesday afternoon here until football season. And we'll talk about a little bit of a programming change. You know when TV shows, they launch and they're on like a Friday night or whatever.
Yeah.
And then a little bit into the series, it's like, we're going to try the show at a different time slot or on a different day.
Sure.
Right? They're moving us.
We're moving us.
We're moving us for a good reason, though, right?
Okay.
Football season, we want to react the day after you play the NFL games on a Sunday.
Now you said we're going to get into this later, and you're immediately getting into it.
Yeah, we're gonna move the show a little bit.
Okay, all right, let's do it.
So we'll give you some of the details, all right? But it's not a bad move. It's a good move.
Yeah, no, yeah. A lot of times
It's not towards a cancellation.
Yeah, those moves happen in TV because it's like, boy, the ratings there
you say, well, they're done.
Yeah,
That
needs a
show's done.
boost. Yeah, we don't need a boost, do we?
Everybody can use a little bit of a boost.
All right, good point.
I stayed up way too late last night to watch Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
I said to Ash, I have to see Hard Knocks because I have to be able to talk about it tomorrow. So I stayed up until about 2 watching Hard Knocks. It was worth it. It was worth it. I love the show, and I know people like calling it soft knocks, and it isn't giving you like all these kind of great training camp battles and storylines and guys getting cut and whatever. It's basically John Gruden and Antonio Brown for an hour.
That's a lot of it. And yesterday, a little Frank Caliendo, which was great.
Which was really good off the top.
That was awesome.
His facial expressions when he does Gruden, I mean, the voice is good on its own, but the facial expressions are great.
Yeah, he nails it. That may be, of all the great impressions he does, that's right up there. I mean, his Madden is really top notch.
Yeah.
But his Gruden's great. Yeah, it's a lot of Gruden. It's a lot of Antonio Brown.
But should we be surprised? That's what I keep saying is like, we should be surprised by this. Like Gruden, they got the show because of Gruden. And then Antonio Brown coming to Oakland helped.
Yeah, you know what though? I got a problem with Gruden.
Okay.
He is too...
We talked about this on the radio yesterday.
Yeah.
Isn't John Gruden one of the people you'd love to play for?
You think he's a great motivator?
I do.
You
Positive
think he's a guy who could fire you up?
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think he's way too soft on a superstar.
Well, he is.
I mean, he is. I expected Gruden to be the kind of guy who wouldn't be that way. Didn't you think so?
No.
I want him to go up to him and say, listen, man, I don't care if you got to wear one of the old school leather helmets like baseball glove upside down on your head. I need you out here. I need you out here getting reps with Derek Carr. I need him, and look, who knows what happens when the cameras aren't rolling on Hard Knocks, but I need to see him not joking around with him at the end of a practice or throughout a practice. I want to see him like in his face one time after all this nonsense saying like, look, man, you got to get the reps with Carr. I need you committed to this team, not being a distraction for this team. That's what I want to see my head coach say if I'm on that team.
Instead, John Gruden has come out and he said, this is not a distraction. It's never been a distraction. We knew about the feet. We've known about the helmet. We're backing our player. There's nothing wrong with supporting your player. We understand the league's position as well. However, like, this is our guy. We're gonna defend him. We're gonna stand up for him. Here's the difference. Gruden, if Gruden had just stayed on the sidelines all along, he would be tougher on the superstars. But he went to the broadcast booth. He saw the game changing. He met with other head coaches before Monday Night Football. He's in those production meetings.
Sure.
He's talking with head coaches. He's getting a pulse of what the league and what the current day athlete is like.
Yep.
And so if he wants to go back into coaching and he wants $10 million a year from the Raiders for 10 years, he knows, okay, if I get a superstar, this is how I have to treat them. I have to become friends with them in order to get them to want to play hard for me. Unfortunately, that's the reality with certain players like an Antonio Brown, I would imagine like an Odell Beckham Jr., guys who are going to rebel.
Yeah.
And if they do, it's going to tear the team apart.
It's like he was trying there. You know, you saw it near the end of last night's episode. Brown is back. He's
Yeah.
at practice, so they're walking off the field together. It felt like, and maybe at that point, Gruden feels like, okay, he's playing, it's behind us, so he could kind of joke with him. But you could see where he was trying to get in there, like, you know what, man, like football's all that matters,
Yes,
like, right? Like, we
yes,
need you out
right.
here. Like, but then he's also,
what he calls himself a corporation,
but
a
then,
brand.
right? But then he gets into like, man, like you're a global brand.
Yeah.
Like, all right, like Brown doesn't need to hear that because look what happened the next day.
I know.
The
I know.
very next day,
Yeah.
he doesn't show up.
Yep.
That's why I feel like you got to be a little bit tougher with this guy. And I feel like Gruden probably feels, boy, if I do get tougher with this guy and I say one wrong thing to him, he might just shut it down.
You got it, man.
So he's definitely probably feeling like he's walking on eggshells. All right, I just said definitely probably, which is something you can't say. But I would say that he still needs to, and it may not be a distraction. Guys are going about their business. They're doing their work. Fine. Is that going to affect how anybody else plays when the games matter for real? Probably not. But I just feel like what's best for this team? Antonio Brown at his best, on the field, in this system, good chemistry with Derek Carr. That's the single most important thing to this team,
Sure.
probably winning football games, and that's the single thing that's really not gotten going yet
Okay,
in
but
training.
I'm going to play your role in how you usually view and approach these things.
Okay.
Does any of all of this matter?
I said that,
Is
wait a minute,
Antonio Brown going to be on the field week 1?
I think so.
Do you believe he's still a productive NFL player, one of the best receivers in the league?
Yes.
What does any of this matter then?
All right. I said the preseason games don't matter.
Yeah, I agree.
But I need him in training camp to be a part of this team, to be getting as many reps as possible with Carr. I need him to be in this system before we get out there week 1. No, it's not like nothing before game 1 matters. And I also told you that I feel like when you have rookie players and when you have players who are new to a team,
Yep.
those are the guys who you do want to get in the mix.
Here's another issue with this team that I didn't even think about until I'm watching Hard Knocks. Every time Antonio Brown comes back, it's like a love fest.
It is.
Not just from Gruden, like when Gruden's like 84 and Antonio Brown, it's every player. Now it's guys like Vontaze Burfict who have had their issues in the league, but it's just a bro hug fest.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown is back. Okay, here's what I haven't seen. Wouldn't you like to see a veteran on this team step up and say something? Why does it have to be the head coach? Why can't it be a veteran on this team to say, pull him aside and be like, listen, man, we love you, and we need you, okay? We need you to be here consistently. Like, you have to show up to camp and practice and all these things. We cannot operate with waking up not knowing if you're here or not going to be, especially once with the regular season. Like, what if he just decides he doesn't want to play that week?
I know, yeah.
But this is what I've noticed. There is no veteran leadership on this team.
There isn't.
This is Derek Carr's 7th training camp, they said during the show. But he doesn't take that on.
No, but he's the quarterback too, and we're talking about a receiver here. So I'd be okay. I think it wouldn't be out of place.
But he isn't doing it.
He isn't. But it wouldn't be like out of place for him, I don't think. And he's a guy who has garnered enough respect over his not too long career to where I think Brown, would respond at least a little bit to that. You think it'd be negative? You think he would?
Ben Roethlisberger won 2 Super Bowls. Antonio Brown respect him?
Probably not.
Didn't seem like it.
No.
It didn't seem like
That's almost why it has to be Gruden.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's the opposite with him.
I know.
He's like he wants to be Antonio Brown's friend more than it appears that he wants to be his coach.
Uh-huh.
And again, big part of it could be walking on eggshells, doesn't want to say the wrong thing, knows how important it is just to have the guy there.
And a big part of it could be too, Shawnee, don't you think, Gruden has editorial say on the show. Every head coach has. So you can't just strike everything from the record. Certain things HBO is going to do almost without his approval, but he gets almost kind of final edit approval. Now, maybe there are things we're just not seeing. It's possible.
Okay. It is possible.
Because I think Gruden is using this platform as a real recruiting tool. Like, look at the way I treat my players. Look at the fun we have here at camp. If you're a free agent, think about Oakland. think about Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a sales pitch too that we're getting in a lot of ways.
I did like, at the very least, that the GM came out and said,
Yes.
look, either all in or all out at this point. Like, come on.
Yep.
Enough of this.
Yep.
You can wear the helmet you don't like in practice and be out there and still fight the fight off the it's like it's all about him.
Yeah.
It's so much ego.
Yes.
But again, and a little part of that's on the Raiders because you know what you're getting.
Correct.
But at the same time, it doesn't mean that when you get him, you can't resist it a little bit or fight back or tell him, look, not here.
You want another GM player battle?
Yeah.
What's going on in Dallas? Jerry Jones,
what's
Ezekiel
ever going?
Elliott. Cowboys signed Jalen Smith to a contract yesterday. Really smart deal. 5 years, $64 million. A kid who just basically tore his leg apart in that bowl game his final year at Notre Dame. And then the Cowboys took a flyer on him in a second round, knowing that he wouldn't play his rookie season, and it's paying off here. And then Jalen Smith yesterday gets paid.
Yep.
Boom. Good on both sides. Dallas needs him, and he's hanging around for longer because Dallas took a chance on him in the draft. But you still have those three big names on offense out there that need/want new contracts.
Sure.
Where does it start for you in the NFL? Not the Cowboys. What's the number one position in the NFL?
Quarterback.
Okay, Dak Prescott's going into the last year of his rookie contract. You have to pay Dak at some point if you want to keep him.
True.
His best receiver is Amari Cooper. He was a first-round pick of the Raiders. Dallas trades a first-round pick, and all of a sudden Cooper's career is rejuvenated in Big D. He's going into the last year of his contract. He wants a new deal. You got to pay him at some point. Then you've got maybe the best running back in football
Maybe.
on a beach somewhere in Cabo.
He might not be the best running back
He's
in that
top
division.
3. You like Saquon better?
I do.
Okay. Elliott's top 3, top 4.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Easy.
Yeah, you can't.
And he's on a beach in Cabo. Apparently he's training. That's what his agent tells everybody anyways.
Of course.
He's still working out and staying in shape and getting ready for football season when the Cowboys actually come to the table with an offer that they like.
That's what you do in Cabo. You work out, right?
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I'll never get there. But Elliott's got 2 years left on his deal. And then they can franchise tag him, and then they can tag him again if they want.
So,
and now we've got,
you're basically saying, don't worry about his
no,
contract.
I'm just laying it out there.
Okay.
I'll let everybody else decide, and Jerry Jones ultimately has to decide who is the most important person to please in all of this. And as we've learned, oftentimes, no matter what business you work in, the squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Okay, so Zeke, you just said, is the top 3 running back in the league. Where's Dak Prescott on quarterbacks for you?
He's not top 10.
Okay. So I would think that even though the quarterback's the most important position, you might want to start with making your best player feel like he is compensated properly.
Okay.
Now look, again, I just told you.
Even the guy who's caused you some problems off the field, he had a 6-game suspension not too long ago.
Yeah, and I just said, like, you can't, the Raiders can't, like, pander to Antonio Brown. But we're talking about a contract situation here.
Yep.
All right? So, to me, he's the most, he is your starting piece with how you look to build this team going forward. So, to me, you got to lock that up first. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this offense goes wherever Ezekiel Elliott takes them. They're not going to win a lot of games if he's not on the field. I don't think Dak Prescott's good enough to do that for them. And I think Jerry Jones knows that. But they're still playing this cat and mouse game, where Jones, after Saturday night's preseason game, responds to a question about Elliott with Zeke who.
Right.
He then responded yesterday to some of the back and forth about Elliott after they announced the Jalen Smith contract. Like, look, I've earned the right with Zeke to joke with him. Now, if, Rocky Arsenault, his agent, doesn't like it and he says, actually, we thought it was disrespectful, then, this just feels like a PR fight.
Yeah, it does.
Neither side really means that it's all fighting words.
Yeah, they're all, Do you think that any of this kind of dialogue will impact the final number?
No.
Right. So it really doesn't matter.
No.
Now, I would say that it's a little bit important that Zeke and Jerry Jones don't have like a terrible relationship moving forward. But at the end of the day, he'll probably get paid, and once he does, then this is all behind everybody.
Is Zeke on the field week 1 for the Cowboys against the Giants?
I'm less certain about that than I am about Antonio Brown being on the field,
Okay.
but I think he is. I think they get this done.
I think there's a chance he isn't. I think there's a real chance he isn't.
And you think it'll take a little bit of losing.
Well, I've said it. I said on the radio when we were on yesterday morning that this feels like, I think 93 was the year, this feels like Emmitt Smith 93 is what it feels like to me. Now, maybe Jerry Jones has learned his lesson from that. You know, we're talking a long, long time ago, 26 years ago. And maybe he learned his lesson, like, at some point, we've just got to get him here, and whatever that costs us, it costs us, because we don't want to lose games. I'm not buying the idea that Dallas is going to go into the regular season and like be cool with Tony Pollard, the rookie from Memphis, carrying the ball 25 times in a game.
No. But if you are Jerry Jones, like what happened with Romo out, all of a sudden this new young guy comes in and he's a perfect fit. Do you feel like maybe he's thinking, I don't have to get this done because maybe I can catch lightning in a bottle twice.
Well,
maybe we give Pollard a chance week 1 and he's...
We were smart enough to draft the kid.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll really work out for us. I don't think so. I don't either. Jerry wants to win, man. Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl. They haven't been to a Super Bowl in a very long time.
Cam Honors, huge Cowboys fan. Zeke should be the first done because you aren't winning a bunch without him. Dak is in a tough spot. If he wanted a team-friendly deal, 25 to 28 million. But if I'm Dak, I wouldn't take less than Wentz makes because I've stayed healthy and won the division playoff games. Amari may be the odd man out.
I think they'll all get paid. I really do. I think they'll all get paid eventually. But the Dak thing's interesting because the Eagles set the bar with Wentz. Right. And now you're right. I mean, how do you take less than what Carson Wentz is getting?
Because he's better.
Wentz is better.
Yeah.
Right, but Wentz can't be better if he's injured.
Well, no, of course. There's no question about that.
So that comment, to me holds a lot of water because Dak has been on the field.
Yeah, he's there.
I mean, the Eagles have been to the playoffs twice with Carson Wentz. He hasn't played at all in the playoffs.
Yeah, but they're not paying him to be hurt.
Well, of course not.
So, I know, but they're paying him based on a talent level.
Yes, but you also have to pay somebody in certain walks of life based on availability and reliability.
I would agree 100%.
The guy can't stay healthy. I don't know that I would have given Wentz that deal if I'm running the Eagles.
Yeah.
I really may not have. All right, let's do some baseball here. We've got 0, 50, or 100 coming up, which will be a little baseball heavy. But now that we're getting close to the postseason, it is late August, thankfully. Right? It's a long
late August.
grind.
Sure.
And yet, I think we still feel like 5-6 weeks is not a lot of time. This is going to feel like a sprint.
Yeah.
The final 5 weeks of the regular season
is
going to feel like an absolute sprint. As we sit here on a Wednesday afternoon, the Yankees and the Dodgers are tied for the best record in all of baseball. Mm-hmm. Yanks lost in Oakland last night. I have some concerns about a guy I've been championing all season, Domingo Germán. He was 16-2 going into last night. Here are the numbers, though, that I used this morning on the radio that I don't love. Okay. He gave up 2 home runs last night. He's effectively been the Yankees' ace this season, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just based on record, maybe people out there like Tanaka more than him. That's fine.
Yeah.
Germán has allowed 27 home runs this season. And in 6 of his last 7 starts, Bags, he's given up multiple home runs. Now, he also, oh, by the way, had a 7-decision winning streak. So not 7 straight starts that he won, but anytime he got a decision over the last 7, they were W's in his favor.
Okay.
I didn't look super closely at all these numbers until this morning, and now I'm starting to think that record, which is why we devalue the win, he's got an ERA that's over 4, and he's 16-3. Like 16-3 does not even start to scratch the surface of the whole story of Domingo Germán's season.
No, and look, we've known this. Wins are not what they used to be.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think that just the stat of wins is, like, who won the NL Cy Young last year? My guy, Jacob deGrom. How many wins?
10-9.
All right. So there are way more important stats, more telling of how good a pitcher is beyond the wins. And it starts with ERA. I mean, that's where it is. Like you asked yesterday on the radio, like, does this guy have a legit shot at winning the Cy Young? And really the answer is no.
Yeah.
He's in the conversation because of the wins, but
he could finish fourth.
Yeah, but only because of the wins do you put him in the conversation, and then the wins don't really matter. So it's like he's immediately right back out of it. No, he can't be.
And here's more on the Yankees in terms of the home runs they give up.
Yeah.
They have 2 pitchers in the top 7 of home runs allowed across baseball. That's Jay Happ and Domingo Germán.
Okay.
Then they have 4 guys total in the top 25 when you throw in Sabathia and Tanaka.
Okay.
So as Yankees fans, and Aaron Boone will eventually do, search for postseason starters. Who are you putting on the mound, toe on the rubber, and feeling really good about a start in October with?
Tanaka.
Yeah. And I think after that, it's period.
Yeah.
And then kind of like to be determined after that. Now, you're going to roll Germán out there because the team has won a lot of games with him. So he's going to get a start. That's fine. After that, I know Yankees fans don't love the idea of the opener and Chad Green being part of the postseason conversation, and I don't know that he will or won't be, but you can't tell me you're looking at this and saying they're going to give us a really good chance to win baseball games in the playoffs.
Do you trust Sabathia
a little bit
more in the playoffs than you do in the regular season?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe it'd only get me 4 innings, but that might be all I need.
Yeah. But you're right. Look, this team, we've talked about it all year with the pitching. They are not a playoff-ready pitching staff. They're not guys who you collectively trust to go out there and lock down a series. They have an incredible lineup. They're going to hit a lot of home runs. But when you get to the playoffs and you're facing better pitchers and a shorter rotation, you know, the offense won't be as explosive. And then when that happens, do you have the pitching to keep you in games? We're going to find out, obviously. I told you yesterday I wouldn't be surprised if this team got beat in a 3 out of 5 series.
I know.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they won the World Series.
Because I'd be stunned if they lose in the ALDS. I'd be stunned.
Why? You just laid it all out.
They're too good. They're just too. Look at the way
you just laid out why you wouldn't be stunned.
All the runs they score. I'd be very, very surprised if they can't get past. Look, we're not talking about Houston, and we're probably not talking about Minnesota, although it could be Cleveland. If they played the Twins, the Indians, or the A's or Rays, okay, those are 4 teams in contention for the wild card.
Sure.
And they lost to one of those teams, I'd be very surprised.
It would shock you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't shock me. It's too easy in baseball, period, to lose 3 games, to lose 3 out of 5. It's not that many. You know, you'd like their chances even more in a best of 7 because, you know, the longer the series goes, the more often the overall better team will win. But a 3 out of 5 with a shaky pitching staff, you know, you get 1 or 2 guys with hot starts on the other side of the diamond. You're down 2-0 quick. You're down 2-1, and all of a sudden you got to win 2 games in a row. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too short of a. You can't be shocked if it happens.
We'll get to your Mets here coming up.
All right.
But you mentioned, you know, you said yesterday to me, we're driving a Leah Infinity, brought to you by Leah Cars for Life, Infinity. We're test driving the Q50S.
Yeah.
Red exterior, black leather interior.
You looked good in it. You looked good driving it.
You looked okay. It made you look better than usual.
Yeah.
And you'll see that video coming up on 1045theteam.com.
The red on the red
page in a couple of days.
The red on the red.
It's a lot of red.
It was a lot of red.
But we wanted to draw a little attention to ourselves on the road. So one, the horsepower in this vehicle does that on its own. And then you're like the red flash going down the Northway.
Do you know how you drew attention to us on the road yesterday? He drove the wrong way down a one-way street. That's how you get people's attention. We got people honking at us.
Yep. And this is how it started. Bags goes, oh, wait, I just U-E'd in here before too. Just U-E there. So no matter what, I was going to be going down the one-way street the wrong way.
You're blaming me now. No. You turned completely onto the one-way. I wanted you to U-ey from the road we were on back to that same road, not go into the side street one way where you can't go.
Yeah. You know who I blame? The Department of Transportation. Not good signage.
No, signage only on the opposite side.
It was not good.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
You didn't know.
The one-way was only seen if you're coming the other direction.
That's exactly right.
Which is not.
Right, which doesn't help you because you shouldn't be going that direction anyway.
But I think the point is you weren't even supposed to be able to turn left from where we were.
I get that, but there was no. You wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it. Now it would have helped if I got off the exit when I should have anyway.
Right, we were already on the.
Too much fun driving.
We're already on the wrong road, trying to turn around.
Driving the car.
Yeah. Okay.
Stop into the showroom and see the general manager, Steve Coons, at Leah Infinity on Route 9 in Latham. He'll hook you up with a great car and an even better deal. That's why they call it luxury for less. A luxury vehicle you probably didn't know you could afford.
Mention the show. Don't mention that we took his fancy car the wrong way on a one-way street in Troy.
Tell Steve you heard about it from Chris and Sean on the 104.5 The Team Facebook page.
Can we talk about the Mets?
We do a lot of Mets on this show.
Oh, yeah, Bill Baker. Bill Baker is
a lot of Mets.
Bill Baker is on here as a top fan.
Okay. Is he a Mets fan?
Yes.
Oh, then let's talk some Mets.
Top fan of the show. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
All right. Well, what does Bill want to know? I'd like to hear from Bill. Bill, what do you want to hear from us on the Mets?
What every Met fan wants to know: are they going to make the playoffs?
Yeah. So, are they or aren't they? Are they sinking or swimming?
Who knows?
Exactly. They started a brutal stretch last night. With the Indians, but they do play more home games between now and the end of the regular season than any other team in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been good at home this year. And they were good last night, man. Cleveland came in with their they won 9-2, and they broke the thing open in the 6th and 7th inning and never looked back. And oh, by the way, Sean will downplay his team all he wants. That's fine. Cleveland threw their best pitcher last night, Shane Bieber.
Yeah.
So, Kluber's on the IL, Carrasco's on the IL. They traded Trevor Bauer, but Bieber's had a really good year.
Mm-hmm.
And not that the Mets beat him up, but you knocked him out of the game early enough to then get after the Indians' bullpen.
That's right.
You're not buoyed by this. You're not enthusiastic today. You're not optimistic about after what you saw last night. What's wrong with you?
I'm a Mets fan. That's what's wrong with me. I just know that we could turn around and still lose this series, have bad games the next two games. They're too unpredictable. But like I keep saying, the pitching staff is clicking right now. Everybody seems to be at their best. Rosario has really emerged as a top talent right now. He is arguably the most important hitter in our lineup right now. Okay. Alonso is the biggest hitter, the power hitter.
Yep.
And he's playing great, drove in a couple more runs. And Conforto has picked it up. And like I said, when we get McNeil back, when you look at McNeil, Alonso, Conforto, Rosario, that's like a big four of really good young talent, all seeming to achieve or exceed their potential right now while the pitching staff is going.
I know you don't.
That's why I'm excited.
I know you don't love him, but Wilson Ramos has a hitting streak going, 14 games.
Yeah, I don't love him.
J.D. Davis has been really good this
He's
year.
been really good. Yeah. Look, okay.
And by the way, the Mets are going to throw Stroman tonight, Syndergaard tomorrow, and what do we always say? You're only as good as your next day's pitching.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the schedule and I'm like, Stroman, Syndergaard, DeGrom to start the Braves series, Wheeler, Matz.
Braves beat us up.
No holes, man.
Braves
are
tough.
Well, we didn't have to see DeGrom the last series. Now we got to see.
True. Bill Baker says, I want a legitimate justification to keep Mickey after this season. Well, making the playoffs, that would do it. Right? He's not going anywhere if you make the playoffs.
I've said if they don't win a playoff series, you could still fire him and be justified.
Interesting. So they make the playoffs. They win the wild card game.
Yeah.
They lose the NLDS. You think there's a chance he's still out.
Yeah, I do.
Even after the turnaround.
Yes. We talked about it in the car as we're driving the Infinity yesterday. I said to you, look at the second half they had last season. It was arguably the best in baseball. Now, looking at the exact records, they had one of the best August-September combos in all of baseball last year, right? What happened the first half of this season? They were dreadful. It didn't carry over. So you said it to me, baseball seasons, the success doesn't carry over. It starts brand new
Yeah.
every March and April. So even if they make the playoffs this year, if you just don't like the feel of Callaway's managerial styles, and you don't
I
on
don't.
some of the decisions he makes,
No, I don't.
why keep him?
And I don't like what he says, even more than his.
Then why keep him?
Yeah, look, if it was up to me, I wouldn't. I'm just saying, I think if they make the playoffs, he appears to have a good enough relationship, right, with Van Wagenen, where it's like these
And the
guys are
players.
buddy-buddy, and the players. I don't know that they would. I don't know that they would fire him after making the playoffs. I think that would save. Now, if they battle back like they have and get themselves into the mix and they're in it and they collapse like they have at the end of a season, we see the last couple weeks they just drop right out of it, then I think maybe, for sure.
Okay. All right.
And I just said another one of those.
Yeah,
I did a definitely,
I was
probably,
gonna
and now
let
a
it-
maybe for sure.
Yeah.
What I mean is that I could definitely see it happening. It wouldn't be a definite that it happens.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay, sorry.
Mets and Phillies tied 2 games behind the Cubbies for that second wild card spot. When we last really talked about the Mets and where they were, I think we said, they're like 5 games out of the second wild card spot, but there are still 5 teams between them and that second wild card spot. Well, now it's 2 games and 2 teams when you count the team they're tied with. So
I know.
they've not only closed the gap in games, which of course is essential, but they've leapfrogged Diamondbacks, Giants, Brewers.
We've jumped a
And
lot of
they're
teams in a short
creating
period of time.
distance, man. Milwaukee's 3.5 out.
Yeah.
Milwaukee is a game and a half behind you guys.
Yeah.
All right, we got conflicting comments here. Bill Baker, I don't buy making the playoffs. His actions and judgment calls have been way off. His calls in the game are not consistently good.
Okay.
So Bill just doesn't like his X's and O's.
Yep. Okay.
Dave Spears says bullpen has been too inconsistent.
What's
It's
up,
not.
Spearsy?
It's not his fault Mickey stays. I do agree that
Who put the team together? Who gave Callaway the bullpen he has to work with?
Van Wagenen.
Okay. Did he have any other options first half of the season?
Okay, but is it Van Wagenen's fault that Edwin Diaz went from one of the best closers in the game to Ed Luz Diaz?
No, I'm not saying it's his fault, but how can it be Callaway's fault?
It's not. It's
How
not.
can he take the blame
It's-
and the
that's-
fault for this?
No, it's not.
All
It's
right.
not. I agree with that point that, well, okay, here's the one argument why it's his fault. He was like this heralded pitching coach, right? That's why you bring him in.
Yeah.
And the bullpen falls
Not good.
apart.
Yeah, not good.
But again, I don't think Diaz not being Diaz is Mickey's fault. And I've never liked Familia.
I know.
So I'm not going to blame Familia on him either. Lugo has been good.
Yep.
Gazelman, and now he's hurt. You know,
Not a lot of options. Justin Wilson has been good in spots.
yeah, it took too long, I think, for the starting staff to get to where they are now.
Yeah,
But they're here now.
right.
So it's extra hard to just get rid of Mickey at that point. But again, I don't like what he says. I can't listen to this guy.
I
after
think
a
there's
game.
going to be a lot of pressure on Van Wagenen to get a team to really win some important games, and one wild card game is not going to be enough. And if he doesn't feel like Callaway's the guy, then guess what? Doesn't matter if they make the playoffs. Callaway won't be back.
What's Bobby Valentine doing?
It'll be Joe Girardi. You don't even have to ask Val. It'll be Girardi. It'll be Girardi. Girardi wants the job.
But Terry
Girardi
Collins.
He wants to. Terry Collins. I mean, what are you doing? Bobby Valentine.
Yeah, he could come back wearing the glasses and the mustache.
It's gonna be Girardi.
Okay, I'd be okay with Girardi. I've
Yeah.
told you that.
Yeah.
All right.
Week 3 of the NFL preseason is here, man.
Oh, yay. There shouldn't even be a week 3. 2 games, that's it.
And then do you want to play 18 regular season games, or you want to stay at 16?
No, 16's fine.
But see, you would not be good in a collective bargaining agreement room. I know you like to fancy yourself as somebody who can really negotiate. That's a terrible negotiating tactic. Take games away from owners when fans have to pay for tickets and concessions and
Who's paying for preseason games?
Everybody.
Oh, come on. Who wants to see these guys?
If you are a
They're well
season-
attended?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, not sold out. But if you're a season ticket holder, you have to buy the preseason games
Oh,
also.
for God's sake. Well, I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's a joke.
So you can't take games away. Now, if you want to eliminate preseason games, you have to add regular season games.
But then, I mean, then it's even worse for guys' health.
That's what the Players Association will say as they negotiate for more money, a better split of the revenue.
Why can't we just play 2 preseason games? And the owners
would be fine with that
eat the
too.
money they make from 2 preseason
Well,
games.
guess what?
Come on.
You ever seen an owner
I know.
willingly eat
know.
money? There's no chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
All right.
But I'm with you. I'd only like to see 2 preseason games. And for all the people out there who are thinking, yeah, but what about the guys who are trying to make the team? Those are the only guys who play. Okay, don't play any starters.
Right.
Don't play any starters. The
No.
starters practice.
Yeah.
The guys trying to make the 53-man or the practice squad, you play.
Right. You give them 1 series. If you want to give them like a quarter in the second game, then go ahead. Then they play the first quarter of the second game. Your
Yep.
starters, whatever. That's it.
So Saturday night, Jets, Saints, you don't care if Darnold plays or you do care if Darnold plays?
I care if he plays. I prefer that he doesn't.
Le'Veon Bell will not play. The
Good.
head coach, Adam Gase, has said that. If you're a
Good.
Giants fan, you want to see more of Eli Manning in week 3 or Daniel Jones?
No, I want to see Daniel Jones. Yeah, I know what Eli. Look, we're good on Eli. I've seen Giants fans have seen so much Eli, more Eli than they know what to do with.
Yeah.
We don't need to see Eli Manning.
Nothing happens tomorrow night in the Giants preseason game, which you can watch on News Channel 13 in the 518, that you're going to feel differently going into the regular season with Eli?
No, not with Eli. Now, if Daniel Jones, I've said, if Daniel Jones stinks it up,
Yeah.
he stinks in the preseason,
Yeah.
I'd be concerned. But if he's good, I'm not getting excited. So it's a lose-lose.
So, yeah, right.
It
Right.
is.
You're not going to give the guy credit.
I didn't say I'd give him credit.
For
I said I'm not
looking-
going to get excited. I would say he did what he did. He was good against whoever he's playing against.
So you're only going to feel negative emotions.
Yeah, because if you stink against talent that's probably not even, half of it's not even going to be in the league, then you're definitely going to stink against talent that's already in the league. If you're great against subpar talent, that doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden going to go in the league and be great against real defenses. So, yes, I'm not going to get excited. I think, like I said to you in the Infinity yesterday, it's all about...
I couldn't hear you over the engine, which was
That's
really
right.
kind of nice.
It's all about the opportunity. In the preseason, you can play yourself out of some opportunities
Yep.
in the regular season.
Yep.
It's about keeping yourself in the mix, playing well enough to have that opportunity when it comes up, to be able to have the confidence for the coach to say, okay, here's your shot. Because you can play yourself out of that.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you do well enough to get your shot, and look, does it really matter with Daniel Jones? He could stink it up and he's still going to get that shot because of where they drafted him.
course.
But just in general,
Yep.
that's kind of how it goes. And you get that shot, then now I'm evaluating. Once you get that next opportunity, when the games matter against defenses that are good, first string talent, now I'm evaluating the talent for how you are really going to be in this league.
We have a YouTube channel now,
Yeah.
which I know we told you about last week. Just go to YouTube, Honorado and Bagnardi. It's right there for you. Subscribe to it. We'll put the shows up on that channel, but we'll also do some video content that you won't see on this show and won't really even talk a ton about on this show. So it's kind of exclusive to the YouTube channel. And one of those things was we went and made bets at Rivers Casino.
Yeah.
Now, I bet on the Jets to win the AFC East. You can see the full video there. That's one bet I made. I was looking at the schedule this morning just because we're closer, and I thought, let me see how the Jets really, what is the schedule really set up to be?
Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's really tough. And I'm not
You
saying I
didn't
want
think-
my money back now.
You didn't think to look at that before putting your hard-earned cash down?
Because here's the thing. We all look at a schedule and we go, that's a win, that's a win. I might lose that one. They're 12-4. And it never works out that way. I
Of
looked
course
at
not.
the Jets just based on their talent. And I thought this is going to be it should be a good defensive line and a good safety secondary. The corners are a mess. So the defense should be okay, and Greg Williams, new defensive coordinator, I'm excited about that. Sam Darnold, second-year quarterback, I think he's going to take a really big jump. and then you bring in Le'Veon Bell, and you bring in a guy like Ty Montgomery, Jamison Crowder, guys in the receiving game who can help out.
Yep.
New head coach. They seem to be getting along. I said, here's my money, Rivers Casino, still betting on the Jets to win the division. Here's the schedule, though.
Okay.
They open with the Bills at home.
Okay.
Go ahead. Do it in your head because you do it now. Win, right?
Okay, but I'm going to say right off the bat, division games are really tough.
I don't disagree,
So-
but that's at home.
Fine.
Why don't you bring a pen instead of using a dry erase marker on paper?
Because I enjoy the feel of the dry erase.
After the Bills,
Yeah.
they're going to host the Browns.
Boy.
And that's Monday Night Football. Everybody loves the Browns this year.
Yeah.
They're going to host the Browns on Monday Night Football.
Okay. I'm going to say they're 1-1
Okay.
so far.
After the Browns, guess who they play?
Patriots.
Patriots.
Okay. Loss.
That game is on the road at New England. Then they hit the bye week, which I don't like an early bye. Yeah, I know. I don't like an early bye week.
I don't
After the bye week, and I don't know that I'm going to get the order right now in my head after looking at it, but coming out of the bye week, their next 4 games are the Patriots are in there again
Okay.
at home. They play at Jacksonville as well.
Okay, I'll give them a win there, even though that can be a tough place to play.
Yeah, and Foles now.
Yeah.
And
But okay.
You don't know exactly what you're going to get out of out of that team this year. But I mean, they've got 7 games to start this year, Bags.
So we're going through this, but we're not going to do it. I thought we were going game by game here. Do I have to pull up the schedule?
Yeah, you have to pull up the
Okay.
schedule.
Jeez.
But it's a brutal stretch for the Jets to start. And I'm thinking to myself, if they're 2-5 after the first 7 games, I mean,
They're not winning the division.
forget it.
They're not winning the division.
Forget it. There's no chance at that. But they've got to start 5-2.
All
You
right.
have to at least split with New England. That goes without saying. If you're going to win that division, you have to find a way to at least split with the Patriots, and you better win the home game. You better win the one at home because you're probably not going to Foxborough and winning up there.
Gee, do you think? So we're going through the Jets schedule here. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure. It feels a little early.
It's never. What, are you kidding me? The NFL releases its schedule. What do? We immediately look at it and think, can we get 11 or 12 wins?
All right, here we go. Week 1, Bills. Week 2, Browns. Week 3, Pats. Bye week. We covered that. All right, they're at the Eagles. Week 5.
And then Dallas is right after that.
All right, so let's go loss at the Eagles. Okay?
Yep. And then the Cowboys.
Cowboys
after
at
that.
home. Give them a win there?
It's tough, man. It's
All right, let's just
tough.
give them a win because we got to find a way to give them a win somewhere.
Yeah.
Then they're home for the Patriots. I'm going to give them a loss.
And then Jackson.
Look, they're going to have to, if they're going to win the division, they have to beat New England once at least. They're going to have to win that home game.
I just said it. Thank you, though. I know you were busy looking
Sorry.
up the Jets schedule, but
Did
those
you just
words
say that?
Literally just came out of
Okay.
my mouth.
All right, well, I'm going to give them a loss. Well, I'll give them the win at Jacksonville. All right. So then at the Dolphins.
Yeah, but they started 3-4. I'm not feeling so good about my bet now. 3-4.
All right, at the Dolphins.
Win.
Gonna have to. Gonna have to win the road, home for the Giants. Gonna have to give them a
I
win,
think it's a win.
which is not even really a home game.
No.
So that's another one that's just at the Redskins. Give them a win there.
At the Redskins, yeah, I'll give them a win.
Great.
Dave Spears, by the way, says Cowboys will beat them. But
Okay. Home for the Raiders.
you have to win that game.
Have to win it.
Oakland coming east, 1 o'clock. You have to win that game.
Yeah, if you're gonna make the playoffs, you gotta win that game. All right, week 13, they're at the Bengals, 1 o'clock.
Have to win that one.
I would agree. So now we're putting together a 6-game winning streak. All right. And then home for the Dolphins. Let's make it 7. Now you got the momentum. At the Ravens, Thursday Night Football, week 15.
And the end of this schedule is brutal because they will go Baltimore, Pittsburgh.
I'm going to give them a loss in prime time on the road.
Yeah. And then Pittsburgh right after
I'm
that.
going to lose that too. And then at the Bills, sorry, to end the season, we'll give them a win there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 and 7 is not going to be good enough to win the division. So here's what we've done.
Wait a
is
minute. 10 and 6.
10 and 6
Sorry.
might be good enough, but probably not. Here's what we figured out here. The games that they should win, there are going to be 1 or maybe 2 in there that they don't. It just happens.
Yeah,
And
of
then
course.
the games that we put losses next to, I'm not saying that those will turn into wins. I'm saying a good team, a playoff team, wins games that you don't expect them to necessarily win.
As a Jets fan, I almost feel like this is a best case scenario.
Yeah,
too,
you
because
got a 7-game winning
we got a
streak.
7-game winning streak in
That's
the
not
middle of the
gonna
season,
happen.
so we know that's not going to happen.
Right.
Even so, if they're 5-2 on that stretch. Now we got 2 more losses on here. Where are we picking up the 2 wins on these losses? You have to win
start,
1 against New England.
Yeah, and you have to start 2-1.
Have to start 2-1.
You have to start 2-1.
Yeah. So that week 2 game against Cleveland.
Yeah, you got to win.
Got to win that.
Yeah, that's all.
We're not going to go through New England's, but they're going to win 11 games. So
their over/under, I think, is right
it is
on
11
or 10.5. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see on my Jets bet, but check out the YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and we'll put video content up there every single week for you guys.
Yeah, that's what we do.
All right, let's do 0, 50, or 100 here. The game we play every single week on Honorado and Bagnardi. And a little more baseball here than we did earlier in the show. First one, Bags.
Let's do it.
And this is inspired after Clayton Kershaw getting career win number 166 last night. Okay, Clayton Kershaw has 166.
How can anything be inspired by that? But okay.
Because he's now 5th all-time on the Dodgers wins list, and he passed Sandy Koufax. Ever heard of him?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why, because Kershaw's climbing the Dodgers ranks. So 0, 50, or 100, we will never see another 300-game winner in Major League Baseball. No more 300-game winners. This is a big one of mine. I'll go first. It's 100. Easy. 100. Why? Because we've talked about it already. We're devaluing the win as fans, which means the front offices, the managers, and maybe even to a degree, if it sticks around long enough, the players. Not going to worry so much about the wins as they will the WHIP, the ERA adjusted, all of that stuff. Strikeout numbers, certainly. So it's 100. We'll never see another 300-game winner. Guys don't pitch deep enough into games to qualify for wins. And if you look at where some of the best pitchers currently are on the wins list now, CC Sabathia is the active wins leader. Okay, he's got 251 wins. This is his last year.
Yeah, not gonna happen. No.
Justin Verlander, how good has Verlander been? Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
He's got multiple Cy Youngs. He even won an MVP.
Yeah.
He has 219 wins. He's 36 years old. He's not going to get anywhere near 300. Zach Greinke is up there as well. John Lester is in the high 180s. He's 34.
Yep.
There is nobody even close. Clayton Kershaw, 166 wins now, right? He's 31 years old. You know what he's averaged over the course of his career, a 12-year career? 14 wins per season.
Wow.
He's at 166, and he's been an all-time great in a lot of people's minds. Like,
sure.
Just look at the metrics, look at his numbers. He'll be a Hall of Famer, but he'll get like 220 wins.
Yeah, you're almost saying like 200 could become the new 300.
I think 250 is going to be a really good career.
Okay.
Maybe great, maybe great.
I'll say 50, only because I agree with everything you just said. You're spot on. But I'm going to leave it open to the possibility that maybe the league at some point changes how a win is given to a pitcher. And I think that would change it significantly. We would be talking about, for like a guy like DeGrom, for instance, okay, when you look at how many no decisions he's ended up getting, that the Mets have still won the game, where if you had to give a win to the pitcher based on who pitched the best, like we've talked about, that it would go to
ask. We've talked about this on this show.
I think we've done this as a 0, 50, or 100.
I don't know that we did, but this has been a big thing for me.
Yeah. Well, either way, so I'm not gonna rule that out, and I don't want to rule out.
So like a guy could pitch 4 innings,
yeah,
or 3 2/3 of shutout ball,
right?
Comes out of the game, and the team wins. It's 1-0 at the time or whatever. The team ends up winning 2-1.
Yeah.
But you've used a collection of relievers along the way, and nobody's really been like great.
Right.
They've been good, obviously, but.
Or a guy pitches 8 scoreless, and it's a 0-0 game, and you win 1-0 in the 12th.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that, or a closer blows a game, and then you come back. You know, like that win has to go to that starting pitcher.
So you're basically going to give the win to not necessarily the starter, but whomever was the best pitcher that day.
Yeah, it's going to be up to the official score.
Yeah.
And that's your idea.
I love the idea.
Yeah, that's your idea, so you should love it. And I back that 100%. And I don't know that the league would ever change that, but I'm going to leave it at least open to the possibility of it. And I'm also going to leave it open to the possibility that like we get a guy who comes into the league. You know, guys now throw so hard as starting pitchers, right? Look at a guy like Syndergaard, who's got like closer velocity for like 7 innings. It's just crazy. It wouldn't surprise me if a guy came in who just had like the nastiest stuff, right? Like there's going to be a guy who comes along who just throws so hard, or who just throws a pitch that's like Rivera's cutter, where it's just like almost so unhittable, that's going to rack up some wins.
300 of them.
That's a lot.
I know, man. I know.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting is like, you know, when we were watching the 300 game winners in our lifetimes, and there really haven't been that many of them. I mean, Clemens, Maddox, Glavine. Yeah. And I'm going to forget some. Randy Johnson, did he get to 300?
Glavine's 300 with the Mets, which I know you love.
No, it's awful, man. It's just so awful. I wasn't thinking about it then, that like, boy, how difficult it is. But when you start thinking about where these other great pitchers are, Verlander and Kershaw, like in this era of baseball, they're the best of the best. And they're not even going to get close.
Right, and that's the thing. And this is not for lack of pitching that's as good as it once was. No. This is just a changing of the game. So maybe that's another thing, too, that we look at is there a new era where we snap back? Probably not, because you know of how worried they are about guys' arms, and it seems like it's just going to be more of the same, or like even continuing in the same direction.
I think we're going back.
Really?
Yeah. I will be surprised, and you can call me stupid, if in 5 years we're using the opener. I think teams are going back. I think we will go back to starting pitching being valued by front offices in baseball.
But we're never going back to guys just keep pitching.
Oh, 130,
like
140 pitches. No,
that's done.
No, yes.
So that is going to make it harder.
Yeah, but you have front offices basically saying like starting pitching doesn't matter. We're not worried about starting pitching. We'll figure it out. Oh. All right, 0, 50, or 100. Antonio Brown is more of a headache than Odell Beckham Jr. ever was with the Giants.
Oh, boy. All right, I'll go first this time. This is a 0 for me. He's not Antonio Clown, as I called him yesterday. Antonio Clown is not more of a headache because he's pretty much about the same headache when it comes to the shenanigans.
Okay.
You know, and the ego. But he's just a better player. I think he's a better receiver. I think if I had to pick one guy heading into this next season who I want my quarterback throwing the ball to, it's Brown over Beckham. So I think he's a better player with about the same. The white noise, the distractions, to me, they all kind of blend together. Whether or not you're, peeing like a dog in the end zone, or you're griping about your helmet, or you're stupid enough to burn your feet, it's all the same.
It's a 0 for me.
Okay.
Because save for the one game at the end of the regular season last year, and I know it was a big game where Brown just decided he's not going to play with his that one bothers me. So
I wouldn't put that past Beckham either, though. By the way, so
me neither.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to say he's going to do that because that's an ugly look.
Yeah.
But despite burning off the bottoms of his feet, freezing them off, Antonio Brown plays every single week. You know what I mean? He's healthy, and he's historically productive, and he's healthy. And he's been part of more significant wins than Odell Beckham Jr. has been at this point in his career. So I think they're obviously very comparable in terms of talent and production when on the field, but Brown's on the field more than Beckham. So he can't be more of a headache because at least the guy's going to play. And when he plays, he's always one of the best receivers in the league.
And they're both on new teams this year. Who's making the most noise as being a headache?
Brown.
Yeah. But
Brown. Beckham's laid low. I'm proud of you, OBJ. He's laid low.
yeah, he's watching.
He's played. He's laid really low.
He has so far.
Yeah. All right, 0, 50, or 100 here. NBA rookies not voting for Zion Williamson is just out of jealousy. You've seen there's a new poll released of where all NBA rookies were polled, asked, who do you think out of this rookie class is going to have the best career? Number 1 overall pick was Zion Williamson. Best player in college last year was Zion Williamson, but he did not win this vote. He got like 4% of the vote. In fact, it was a Duke teammate of his, Cam Reddish,
Right.
now at the Hawks, who ended up getting like 9% of the vote and winning this poll. So is this just jealousy? Are other rookies just like, man, Zion, you got too much love, too much play. We're done with you.
Yeah. I'm a 50. I'm just finishing. I'm making a basketball.
All right, fine. You keep doing that.
I'm a 50. And it's not
That's
a good
your
bas-
basketball.
Look, I had 10 seconds. Look.
This is your basketball.
Yeah. Got the little grip dots.
It looks like, but you need, there needs to be more, like,
I know, it's not good.
it's like a watermelon or
almost looks
something.
like a
I don't know what that
Like
is.
a bad fruit.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Listen, it's a 50 for me because I think that part of it is probably just like, this is guys saying like, well, screw Zion. I'm just going to write somebody else, right? Because they are jealous of him. But at the same time, it could be like guys who just don't care about this and just answered whatever.
Yeah.
Because who cares?
Right.
Why are we answering a poll about other rookies? We assume that you can't answer with yourself.
Yeah, yep.
Otherwise, that would be a part of this too. But assuming you can't, why do they care about this? Who cares? And I think also it's probably some guys who thinking like they're making like the intelligent pick. Like, well, I actually see something in somebody else, so I'm going to pick it. So I think it's probably a variety of things. But is jealousy part of it? I'm sure.
Reddish is a really good shooter, so if you want to take the route that guys are maybe overthinking the room or whatever, like Reddish is a really good shooter. He'll be around for a long, long time because he's a knockdown guy the way like a JJ Redick is. But it's 100.
Jealous.
It's 100. This is jealousy, man. Who's the best player in the draft this year?
Zion.
Who's the best athlete in the draft this year?
Zion.
Was he the best college player last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, by far.
Does he draw comparisons physically to a guy like LeBron James?
He does.
Have you seen anything like Zion Williamson on a basketball court other than like Shaq, maybe? Look at the
He's
build.
unique. He's unique.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not as high on Zion as everybody else is.
I'm
but
not telling you.
it's automatic when you're looking at.
Yes. I'm not telling you he's going to have the best career out of this rookie class. But if you're just polling 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
Yeah, who cares?
I don't know that they're like breaking down the game in their mind.
No.
They're just deciding like,
Screw
we're
him.
not voting for Zion. Yeah.
Okay, but do you think Zion will have the best career out of the rookie class?
No, I think the body will break down at some point. He's carrying a lot of weight, man.
What's his comp? What's
weight.
his career at the end of the day? What's his career?
Boy, somebody we've seen before. I don't know, man. He's unlike anybody else.
Is he gonna? How many rings is he gonna end up?
That one I can't predict. He's in
Nobody
New
can
Orleans.
predict. Yeah,
I have
but
no
how
idea.
long will that be?
But
Who
you
knows?
do want him to get at least one. I mean,
Who does?
You know who? I mean, if we're going to hold him in this regard of being like this all-time great player,
Well, sure.
So like, is he Barkley?
Yeah.
Not in terms of without rings. I mean,
Yeah.
Does he play like Barkley? Does he play like Karl Malone? Is he that type of guy?
That's kind of where I was like immediately thinking maybe a Barkley type.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's so unique, and it's going to be interesting to see, like, first how he is, but then how he develops, right? Like, that's going to be so much of it. Like,
Right.
because we saw it with LeBron.
You could tell early on, like, okay, the hype is real. Like, this guy's good, and then we saw him get better and better and better.
Right. Didn't have a real jump shot.
No.
Then like had a jump shot but couldn't make a three.
Right.
Now you do anything on the floor he wants.
Right.
Anything.
Yeah. Which Zion could do in college for the most part.
Right.
But it's a different level, and you're going to have to adjust. You're going to have to adapt. His coaching is going to be a big part of it. So there's too much to be seen with any rookie class. You can't just you know it's not as random as throwing a dart at it.
Yep.
But you can't just say, well, the number one guy every year, obviously either. He seems to be in a special class here, but is he going to be the best? Nobody can predict that.
No. As much as I'm looking forward to football season, and I am, I can't wait for the NBA season.
Well, the NBA is in a spot it has not been in for a long time. Where like we don't know. We don't know.
No.
And there are a lot more big twos and no big three. You know what I mean? Like it's guys are now spread out, and there are going to be a lot of really good teams instead of like one or two great spectacular teams and then like good teams.
Right.
It's really all mixed up at the top,
Yep.
which is exciting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think like 5, 6 deep in the West could all just be bunched together.
The playoffs, if everybody's healthy,
Yeah,
the playoffs
it's gonna be fun.
we get some deep series with, 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, like those matchups in the first round where there was usually more separation. Those teams are going to be closer together now, and we could get even some upsets.
No doubt. We'll do some college football next week with Lars Anderson, author of a new book, Chasing Bear Bryant, the pursuit of Nick Saban at Alabama and the greatness between both Bear Bryant and Saban. And Lars is obviously a decorated author, but a big college football guy as well. So we'll do that with Lars Anderson next week. Let's do a little Did You See This here.
Let's do it.
On Honorano and Bagnardi.
All right, you're up first.
Here's my Did You See This? So this is Fernando Tatis Jr., who unfortunately looks like he's done for the year in San Diego. Terrific rookie season. And I saw this one day as I'm watching Padres Braves, of course, and he slides into third and the helmet comes off. And I think, what is going on here with the sunglasses? Is he snowboarding? They look like snowboarding goggles in a way, or ski goggles, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or is he from like Back to the Future?
Yes.
With those
Yes.
with those sunglasses that I think Doc Brown was wearing? And then I thought, are these blue blockers? Is this off an infomercial? These are the largest, most ridiculous sunglasses I've ever seen on a baseball player's head.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of these things?
I think they're kind of cool.
Stop it. Look at all of this up here. So like usually it's just the bar, right? He's got, reflective sunglass protection over the bridge of the nose.
You know what you're not doing with these? You're not taking these off and putting them on top of your hat when you're in the outfield. Because that's what I hate. You want to talk about sunglasses? How about when you get a pop-up and the guy drops the fly ball because the sun's in his eyes and he's got his sunglasses on top of his hat? He's wearing these at least, right? So he's not going to, the sun is not going to be in his eyes.
We need like an old man alert
Like a
sounder
buzzer?
for this
Yeah.
show. That was an old man rant right there.
It was.
Sunglasses on top. I agree. I agree.
Mine's not sports related. This is a little hard to see, but this is a home security footage, okay, of this house in California.
All right.
It's a vacation home.
I've seen this.
You saw it.
I think I've seen it.
There's two teenagers in another room watching
Yeah.
TV, and they hear this. Look at this. The bear.
Yeah.
A bear has come in. I ripped this from Inside Edition, by the way. A bear has come in.
Yeah.
He opens the fridge door, goes in, takes some taco meat
Taco meat.
and
Okay.
some ice cream.
Interesting combination.
There he
Look at him
goes.
walking around.
There he goes.
Got it in his mouth.
I mean, so the two teenagers.
At least he's using the coffee table, or he was going to.
Right. So here are the two teenagers. They were in the other room, okay?
Yeah.
And this. Well, that's enough of them. So the bear is in there making all kinds of noise in the fridge. goes to the door where the teenagers are and starts shaking the door. They're on the other side of the door in like this TV room. So the one holds the door while the other calls 911. So I guess the parents weren't home, right? So a deputy comes and like opens the door and kind of lures it outside and then hits it with a bear shot, whatever that is from a shotgun. Not sure what that is or what that does.
Tranquilizer.
Is it?
Gotta be, right?
Well, anyway, hit it like in the butt and it took off.
Oh, okay.
Like ran away. But could you imagine that thing is going through your fridge? But 250-pound black bear.
Is that what is most surprising? Or like the headline is the thing opened the fridge door.
That's
and
what I
took
was going to
food
say.
out of it.
Yes. How does it know? And somebody at work said, like, well, it probably just smells it on the other side. But even if that's true, like, it's smart enough to know, like, I open the door,
Right.
pull the handle.
The animalistic instinct would be, I smelled on the other side. Let me ram into it and through
and it wasn't like
not like open the door.
This was like a very controlled,
What do we have
like
here?
boop. But they're smart enough too. Like they can, if they like see somebody do something, they open doors. They turn doorknobs, door handles. They're
Really?
like smart animals. Yeah. So the kids left the garage open, and that's how it came in. But it still then like broke in or got in through a
Right.
door there too. But yeah, bears open doors.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Tagline of the show today. What did we learn today?
Bears
Bears open doors.
Yeah.
Had
so
no
that's it.
idea.
No. It was
No
in
idea.
California, not Chicago. Otherwise, I could say it was kind of sports related.
Yeah.
Well, the Cubs
I get it.
and the Bears, they
Yeah.
both play in Chicago.
Right.
That was the thing.
But this wasn't in Chicago.
No.
Okay. We all get the Chicago connection
Okay,
to
good.
a bear,
Okay, good.
but it didn't happen in Chicago.
Now that's not a
You know,
coincidence.
but how about this?
Right?
This is not sports related, but you get the bear is on the California state flag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Next week.
Well,
Laura,
it's Cal.
the Bears.
The golden.
Yeah,
Aren't they the
gold
golden bears?
Yeah. This was a black bear.
It was.
Yeah.
Are there golden bears?
I don't know. Not that I've seen.
Probably not.
I only know about the black bear and the grizzly bear.
Are there Seahawks?
I would say birds that fly over the sea could be a sea, but no, there's no physical like, hey, that's a Seahawk. I don't think bird watchers go find Seahawks.
Right.
You know, I don't think they exist. A lot of seagulls
Seagulls. It's a gull.
out near the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, college football next week. Lars Anderson, author of a new book you want to check out if you're interested in the history of college football, the great Bear Bryant, and now arguably the even greater Nick Saban. Lars will be with us on the show. And a new time and day coming once we get into football season. So hang out with us next Wednesday, and then the Wednesday after that will be like kickoff eve. It'll be the Wednesday before the regular season starts between the Packers and Bears. And then on the other side of that, on the other side of week 1 of the NFL season, will be on Mondays
We'll do Monday.
at 12:30.
Yeah.
So mark that on the calendar. The day after the first NFL Sunday, we are here Monday at 12:30.
That'll be fun. We'll have all the games fresh in our minds.
Yeah.
We'll be able to react to everything. And of course, Monday night to preview. That'll be good stuff.
No doubt. And it'll be, as you mark down, in your permanent marker on the piece of paper, it'll be a win for the Jets.
Correct. 1-0, baby.
There you go. What a start. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place, right here on the 104.5 The Team ESPN Radio Facebook page.